Hi there. In today's video, I'm going to be simply taking this bridesmaid dress, which is actually my daughter's, and my daughter is tall, so I haven't got much to take off the bottom. But what I've got to do is, where the original hem is, I'm just coming a little bit higher and then cutting along all the way around. And the same with the lining, a little bit higher, cutting it, then overlocking it, and then restitching it up. So it's quite an easy one for me because I haven't got any measuring to do on it. So I'm just going to start by cutting what needs to be cut off the bottom. So when you're actually doing a velvet dress, you just need to decide how long you want it. Make sure you allow the seam allowance. And if it's quite a lot, like with this, is easy to do because it's a small amount. But if it's a larger one, measure it out, cut it off, and then just do the process that I'm going to be doing. And obviously when you're cutting your fabric off a dress, when you're cutting it, make sure there's nothing like this in the way that you can cut into. So as I'm cutting around that and I'm flicking it like that, I'm always being aware of what's underneath. So it's to the back end and not in the front, because it would be a nightmare if that happened, especially when it's an expensive dress. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is go to the Duke and I'm going to reinforce at the end of every seam so that doesn't come undone, which it would do. Let me show you there, because you've cut into it, so that will just keep coming undone. So you need to reinforce on every hem, not hem, yeah, the bottom of every seam is where you just need to reinforce. So however many there is, each one needs to be done. But I'm going to do that off camera because it's such a small, tiny job to do. Now, whenever you're sewing fabric, when you've got some pieces that you've cut off because you're shortening, always do a tester on the new fabric on your overlocker to make sure that the stitch is going to be good. Right, so let me get this started then. So I think I'm going to start on the back of the dress, on the back seam. There's the back. There's a lot of fabric in this dress, guys. A lot of fabric. Wow. Right, okay. Right, so let me just get this. And I want the fabric to be right side facing up, so the neatest side of the overlocking is on top, not underneath. And as I'm doing this, with velvet, it tends to want to curl under. So I've got my finger just underneath there, making sure that it's coming up here flat. Making sure that's okay. Yeah, that's lovely. Right, so that's the dress outer. Right, so let me just get the lining. Let me just turn that off. Right, so I am going to clip the hem in place and pin it, because obviously it costs a lot of money, this dress, so I need to make sure that it's spot on. Right, so let me just snip that cotton there. Right, so this was the original hem there. Let me just get that so that it's, yeah. And I'm going to clip the lining, but I'm going to pin the outside because I don't want any teeth marks on the velvet from the clips. If you're not confident in doing it freehand like I'm doing it, obviously grab for your sewing gauge or tape measure. Right, so I'm just going to carry on doing this on the lining and on the dress. But I'm going to do it off camera just to save time. Now, the first thing you should do on your machine when sewing velvet or leatherette, is alter your tension on your foot, because you don't want that tight. Because if there's ever an issue, especially if your cotton's going to knot something underneath, you know, sometimes you have trouble from time to time, and it does it while you're sewing this type of fabric, it's going to put a hole in it. So you always want to take tension off the top with thick fabric. Now I'm going to do the velvet first, and I'm going to stitch in the center of that overlocking. So I'm going to start in the center, so this will be the center of the back of the dress. Right, so I'm just going to start by taking that first pin out, and then the overlocking is going to be tucked inside that hem. Got another pin there, so I need to just get that out. So get that overlocking inside. That'll keep it nice and neat because it's out of the way. And then get the machine on. Back tack as always. Right, now talking about this tension on your foot, if you've not got an industrial machine, then the likelihood is the side will open here and there'll be a lever inside that you can adjust your tension, and you'll probably want it on number 1. I think it goes from number 1 to either 3 or 4, I can't quite remember. Right, let me get the lining done. Now, same again with this overlocking, just get that pushed inside and then it's out of the way. And once again, I'm going to be stitching the centre of that overlocking. That velvet out of the way. I'm just getting all these loose cotton snipped off. Right, so I am going to press this, which is what I'm going to be doing next. So I am going to press the hems now, and I'm going to be using a... Now on this fabric, this will just be fine, just to press this. I've not got it on the hottest heat, I've got it medium. This is just pressing the hem flat. Now when it comes to the velvet, I'm not taking any chances on this. So let me just get the hem, which is here. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put a cotton cloth just over the top of that and then press over it. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm gonna now lay this down on my settee so you can actually see what the dress looked like. But that is your hem, neatly done on a lined velvet dress. So this is the dress, and it's obviously full length, but it's one of those with the really, really long, it's like got two massive long pieces at the top. So she's going to have it crisscross at front, twisted up to the neck, then it comes around the waist and fastens as a belt coming down the front. But there's supposed to be 100 different ways to wear this dress. But I do love the colour of this, but I think I do need to nip out and get a lint roller, because recently just made these cushion covers, and you can imagine the fluff that's come off them. Well, it's got the fibres on this dress, so yeah, I'm going to have to get those off. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.